Rolo.
Rolo.
Sponsors of this video.
What the
This.
fizz?
I don't know what it's called.
Frill? Frill.
They're not sponsoring the video.
Frill. For real.
For real. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, so yours is warmed up. I need to hold mine so it warms up.
And you get really cold hands.
That's alright.
Welcome to the video. Welcome to the Terminator franchise ranking. All 6 films from my least favourite to favourite. Not worst to best, because I don't think any of them are.
No, they
abysmal.
all have something.
So yeah, share your comments in the below comment section. Share your comments in the below comment section. Share your ranking in the below comment section. Hit the like, subscribe, all that crap. Stick around to the end for the hot take. Have you got a hot take?
No.
I haven't actually thought of one yet myself. I will think of one.
We should have thought it beforehand, but we'll think of one.
So same format. Shall I say what my least favourite one is? And
yeah.
You say what yours is?
Yeah.
Or do you want to do your least favourite?
I could do my least favourite if you like, yeah.
Or have you got a least favourite or have you got a worst? Like worst? Or...
I suppose worst. It's in the bottom. It's number 6. As in the order, you know, which is...
So, for a bit of clarification or background or whatever, all of these films, apart from my 2 favourites, which are probably not going to be controversial. The bottom 4 might be controversial, but
yeah, I'd say that.
My top 2 are not controversial. My main problem with all of the bottom 4 are all pretty much the same. The problem I've got with them are all the same, which I will sort of
delve into.
Yeah. Anyway, so my least favourite, I was actually shocked by this because this is the one hadn't seen for the longest time.
Okay.
And I was looking forward to watching it because I hadn't seen it for ages. And it's the only one I haven't got on Blu-ray or 4K. And
okay.
I was searching around to get it. Can't glad I didn't bother now. It's Terminator 3.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Mine's actually Terminator Genesis.
Shit, I forgot my next one. No, I haven't. Terminator Genesis.
Yeah,
okay.
that's my least favourite. I don't know. It's just, yeah. We'll go with the reason why you put.
Well, I can tell you reason. This will cover both of them, and is the casting is just all wrong.
Okay, yeah.
The guy who's cast to play John Connor
in 3.
Yep.
And
obviously the guy who plays Carl Reese in Genesis.
Try Courtney.
No offence to him, but
no,
for me, they just don't bring an A game.
No.
The chemistry between the guy, what's his name, Nick Stowe and Claire Danes, no chemistry whatsoever.
Yeah.
I do not believe they're the couple to.
Oh yeah.
So,
or they even had something earlier, apparently because it was supposed to be obviously like for number 2, wasn't it? You know, yeah. That they knew each other.
Yeah.
But there was like
just don't care about them. No acting chops out on them at all. Chemistry's bland. Arnie's fine. Bit too much comedy for him though, with glasses and talk to hand and all that crap.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But he's still solid. He still looks the part. He still does really well. The woman who plays Terminator, I can't remember her name either. I haven't wrote anything down.
Christian something. Yeah.
She's decent enough.
Yeah.
It starts off pretty positive. Like when she's going down, she's just like driving around gunning people down.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty solid.
Old school Terminator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the robots in it.
There's
look
2.
a bit cheap.
Again, I suppose
They
it's
look like toy robots. You know the
like,
ones that's
like
on the
working
real.
on remote control.
Yeah, they look shite.
Yeah.
The story's crap. I mean, it's like it literally it's basically it's happening anyway.
I think because like they say, in the film, I think in the 3rd film they stop Judgment Day.
Yeah.
And then they're just.
No, it's like they didn't just.
It's like a loophole. Yeah, it's like a loophole.
The way they wrote out Linda Hamilton's character, Sarah Connor character, because obviously Linda Hamilton didn't want to come back for it, or for whatever reason, I don't know why she didn't come back for it, but like she just like died of cancer or something, which happens, but like it's a Terminator film. She should have like died like
doing something,
like taken out like a
computer factory.
Yeah,
or something,
like so. For me, overall,
going out fighting, doing something,
is
for the cause rather than just being like. I understand it like I say, it happens, but for this instance, it feels like a cheap write-off.
Yeah. It should have just been like she's missing or something, just anything apart from like this really shitty like one throwaway bit of dialogue.
Yeah.
So for me, action scenes are pretty decent.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, the 2 main characters driving it forward Don't do it for me.
Yeah. Genesis for me, I just feel like it's just poor. But we'll get onto that when we'll do your ranking, and then I'll just fill into it. So that's your number 6 is number 3.
Yeah.
Okay. What was your fifth least favourite film?
So I was gonna go with Genesis next, but I am gonna go with Salvation.
Okay. Well, I put as number 5. I put Rise of the Machines, which is number 3. So fairly close. Fairly close.
Yeah.
You put Salvation next.
Yeah, because
Okay.
because this film has grown on me over time. So this one for a long time would have been bottom.
Do you not think though, after you watch Salvation, that 3 isn't that bad? Hence why then it's slightly higher.
Do I think Salvation's not that bad?
As in like, so you think like, oh, because you think, oh, 3's not that bad. Then you watch Salvation, and you think actually 3 isn't that bad. And then sometimes when the 5th one come out, you think, oh yeah, what Salvation ain't that bad.
I think like,
I
think like the Terminator franchise once you get past number 2, the problem is with it is, well, I know 3's a sequel.
Yeah.
Then you got 4,
well,
like
it's
Salvation.
a trilogy, isn't it? Which is now technically a quadrilogy because it works.
But then you get Terminator Salvation, which is number 4, which was supposed to be the start of a new trilogy. Didn't do well. So then they made Genesis, which is meant to be a start of a new trilogy. Didn't do well.
Like a reboot and a revamp.
Then you get Dark Fate, so like a prequel sequel, which is meant to be the start of a new trilogy. They keep making these films to make trilogy. Just make a cohesive movie, and then you might get somewhere with it.
Just make one movie.
Every one of these films
got to be in trilogies as well.
Exactly. Every one of these films, even number 3, it kind of leaves it at the end of, okay, then we're going to go into sort of the Salvation part, where it's going to be in the
post-war,
the apocalyptic world. But they leave all these films on like sort of, they don't conclude nothing. It's like Terminator 1 finishes and works as a standalone and works. Terminator 2 finishes,
and
but none of the other ones finish properly. It's all sequel bait. And that's why none of it ever works. So anyway, so I put Salvation next. Yeah, Salvation. So again, it's the casting. I love Christian Bale. I think he's brilliant, but he just seems like he doesn't even see. He just feels like an angry Christian Bale. He doesn't feel like John Connor. He doesn't like. He looks like he's phoning it in. And there was that whole set thing that went on, wasn't there?
There was, I mean, there was a lot of problems, if you like, with the film itself, as in backstage stuff rather than on. I know a lot of people hate it. It wasn't what they wanted because they wanted to see the war from the other films as a flashback that you see, where they've got, lack of a better term, laser guns and stuff like that,
That purpley...
Yeah, purple little haze and that sort of like grey-blue look. And I get that, but this was supposed to be literally set just after, more or less.
It just felt like being in East London, didn't it?
It's
just a dump.
But yeah, I think this was set more or less like a year or two just after the bombs had gone off, so... You've got to give that time.
There's some good ideas in here. But again, like is it Sam Whitworth or whatever he's?
I think it's right. Sam.
Yeah, him. That was a really interesting idea. Like he becomes like he doesn't even know he's a machine.
He's a meta-human almost, isn't he?
Yeah, so he's like one of the first.
Like a prototype.
Yeah, like can we put tissue over a thingy? So that was quite cool. And then when he realises he's like a Terminator hybrid thing, that's all really good. I mean, the problem is they've got some good actors in this, but again, it's just all doesn't fit. You've got Michael Ironside in the submarine underwater. You've got
it does feel a bit rushed.
Yeah, you got thingy again. No chemistry between Christian Bale and Bryce Dallas Howard, who I like her.
Who plays Cara Dane's character. Yeah.
Just no. Is that who it is? Didn't even know that.
Yeah, she plays.
Oh, right. Yeah. No chemistry there at all again.
Yeah, I'll tell you what they did do really well, because again, Linda Hamilton's voice was used on the recordings, but it wasn't her voice. Whoever done her voice did a really good job.
Yeah. Some of the robots, of course, again, some of them were crap.
Too many different variations.
That one that walks around like a dustbin, picking up humans and stuff. It's just like, what are we doing? I can't even remember why. I can't remember why they were doing that. Why didn't they?
They collect humans, didn't they?
Why didn't they just kill them? Or was
I think they collect them to use for skin.
That's it. Was it?
So I think that's what it is. But yeah, or they go into like labour camps.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a few different things. I mean, the ones that I found really weird were the motorcycle ones.
Yeah, no, I've heard before, like, why have they got USB sticks on them? Why have they got seats for humans to sit on if they're not meant to have it? I can forget all of that, but I get a little bit bored watching it.
Mm-hmm.
The guy who plays Carl Reese, the young
Anton
actor who passed away, thingy, didn't he? He was good in it.
Yeah, he was quite good in it.
There was some like decent-ish actually bits, but just overall, like there's the ones that swim in the water. Don't think they were stupid.
Yeah, again, there was a few
like Transformers, it was a bit stupid. For me, it's just a bit boring.
I think it come out around the same time as Transformers, so I suppose they're trying to compete, with like a robot type thing. Yeah. But I thought some of the action scenes were like good. Like the opening was quite good, where he's on that fight with that T-800 or the early version of it, the T-600.
Yeah, I like the way they had like old slow ones, so it was
proper heavy, like heavy duty.
Yeah, so they had like sort of like a chance of fighting them.
That was pretty cool. But yeah, no, I put Salvation personally a little bit higher myself. But you had it at number 5. I actually had it at number 4.
Oh, right.
So I think so then going on to the 4th, what would you put as number 4?
For Genesis.
Oh, so really we're in the same sort of ballpark area, like you
now.
said.
Let me tell you something about Genesis here. Genesis is technically probably the worst movie out of them all.
And yet you've got number 4.
But I'm not bored watching it because it's so fucking stupid. It reminds me of a lot of these. No,
I can't.
It reminds me a lot of these legacy sequels, etc., where some of them just feel like really expensive fan-made fiction.
Really good,
and this is good. Genesis is fan-made fiction. It's abysmal. Like, again, the casting is probably the worst. Could be the worst here. Like Emilia Clarke as Sarah Connor. No, doesn't work.
She was the latest thing out because of Game of Thrones.
Doesn't work.
So it's almost like they're just using people to sell the film.
Jai Courtney is...
Again, he was in Sank. Do you know what the funny thing is? I was talking to a friend
They keep trying to make him... There was a point when they were trying to make him the next biggest thing in Hollywood.
Yeah.
And he can't. He's not good enough,
that's what I'm saying. So I was talking to a friend about this at work the other day, actually. He's been in 2 film franchises where he's been in the 5th movie and it's died. This...
There is no Die Hard 5. There is no Die Hard 5.
I was like, yep, you ruined both franchises.
He was in, obviously, Suicide Squad. Like, I don't dislike the guy.
He's got 2 minutes though, so that's probably not so bad.
I don't dislike the guy, but it's just like, unfortunately...
You can't push people to be liked.
Or to be better than they are. Like, for me, not shitting on people, I think I've said before, but like, he's like CW material. He's like TV acting. And that's not to say TV actors are bad.
No.
But he's just... He ain't the face of the Terminator franchise.
I don't think he's capable of holding the movie on his own. He's a supporting role. So, but then again, in Genesis, is he the main actor and Emilia Clarke's a supporting role, or vice versa? I don't know. That's the thing.
I forgot to mention about Salvation. The CGI bit was, even though it looks terrible, was quite fun. It was quite cool.
Yeah.
That's another thing with the franchises. Like, unfortunately, they need to let go of Arnie. Which we'll get onto a little bit later on. But Arnie's okay in this. I like the idea. Like, again, it's such like fan fiction. It's like they go back to Terminator 2, don't they? Like Terminator 1, and like he fights himself, and then you get the role reversal where she's like, "Come with me if you want to live," and all that shit.
Yeah.
You just think,
it's very, like I said, it's nods and tips to the fans. Like, we know all this.
And it's like when you're sitting there watching it. Like, I remember sitting there in the cinema watching it, and like every time you got one of these lines that were like, it was like you could see the director or that next year going, "See what we just did there? Yes, we saw what he did there. It ain't clever."
Yeah.
But I like the bit where he to make him like to write.
Like for the aging, you mean?
Yeah, so they made him say he couldn't travel through the time machine.
Cool. Yeah, to do it like he says, the long way around.
Yeah,
which I thought was quite cool.
And I thought there were some cool things in it.
I didn't think the Terminator, the villain, was that good. Like the Robert Patrick.
Oh, right, yeah.
Sorry, lack of a better, the Asian fellow who played him. I'm not saying I just didn't.
It's not Robert Patrick, is he?
Yeah, so I just thought to myself, it was very.
And that's a funny thing, isn't it? I don't know if that was ever a conversation, but like Arnie always comes back. Wouldn't it have been cool?
Well, they asked him to do like the.
Wouldn't it have been cool if they'd have called like Robert Patrick back?
Yeah, they could have done maybe. Well, again, maybe it was not a conversation on the board. Maybe it was. Maybe it was, and he never wanted to do it. I don't know. So okay.
Yeah,
very, very
I thought the idea of the Oh, John Connor being a fucking... Oh, they actually do the future bits good in it. In the future. It actually felt like...
Who was John Connor in there?
It was Jason Clarke.
Yeah, again, I found his turn. He became like dark matter, like almost like dust.
But
I don't get it.
But I like the bit where you see him get turned up when they set it in the future.
Oh, that's not that.
Yeah, actually, it's cool.
That purple haze blue
if,
colour.
If Terminator Salvation had looked like that,
yeah,
that'd been pretty cool. But I like the app that was going to take over. Pretty much what's going on now, isn't it?
Netflix.
Phones and shit. Yeah, it's basically what it is, isn't it? I mean, YouTube.
Disney Plus. Taking over everything.
I've finished now, so I'll leave that be. Yeah, so Terminator Genesis is stupid.
Yeah, I put
it's
it bottom.
Stupid, dumb fun.
I watched it again. Obviously, I watched them fairly.
J.K. Simmons is quite funny in it as well.
Yeah, that's probably the only thing that kept me a little bit gripped. Nothing else. Like Emilia Clarke's character, I was like, I was just like, no.
For me, Emilia Clarke's character, it shouldn't be. I know she's Sarah Connor, but she's not Sarah Connor. She should have been a new character.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, I enjoy it for dumb fun. I don't get as bored watching it. It feels like it drops along at a pretty decent pace.
Yeah. All right. So now we're at the halfway mark. So number 3, I reckon we're both going to be the same on this.
Tomato.
No. What the hell?
No, Dark Fate.
Dark Fate number 3, I think. Yeah, I actually I've only seen it once, which was in the cinema when we first see it, and I saw it again. Obviously, recently just watching it. I actually really enjoyed this film.
So I am on the other. I actually quite liked it in the cinema.
Yeah.
I went to it and like everyone was moaning about it, saying how shit it was, and
I actually thought it was
crying about killing off John at the beginning. It's like they've not got John right since Terminator 2 anyway. So I don't know why they thought they were going to get it right this time, right? Yeah. But that's what we've moaned. The whole list is us moaning about the cast of how it's just never worked. So they blew away a CGI version of him at the beginning. I wasn't that bothered about it. But my problem with it,
he looked good though.
It was pretty good.
And even I know his character had the glass on, so again you can do a lot less. But after that, it looked pretty good.
It looked decent enough. I do like Dark Fate more, obviously, because it's third. I've seen this probably 3 times now. I think I watched it when it first came out, and then I watched it for this. It has got pacing issues.
Pacing issues.
So I think it starts really strong.
Yeah, I do a few more times.
I do turn off when it gets a little bit outrageous. So when
right, you know what these? I do apologise. Thanks for telling everyone that. Yeah. So
I'm going to put a timestamp on that, and this will be like the bomb that goes off in turn.
Yeah. So he says outrageous. You do know what these films are about, right?
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, so obviously it's no surprise we've got Terminator 1 and 2 in the top 2 positions. Yeah. Now obviously time travelling films, yes, all that shit. But what I'm saying
anytime you bring in time travel, you're going to open yourself up for problems.
When I say, what did I say? Not ridiculous, what did I say?
Outrageous. Outrageous.
What I'm talking about outrageous is like... I'll get to it. So I like the film. It starts off well. I mean, again, they're setting up this new character.
Which is fine. I think casting's good because, they've got
she's got like...
We're talking about the Mexican chick.
Yeah, she's got no like screen presence. Like, I don't care. I don't care about her. She's not like, Sarah Connor says it, doesn't she? Oh, she's me. But like the thing, and this is the problem, because they set this film up to be a trilogy again. They're going to use the next film for her to become Sarah Connor. It doesn't work. See, in Terminator 1, she had her arc. She starts off as this waitress, scared woman, and then at the end, she's terminating.
She's terminating.
So.
Yeah.
Where is that? They're going to leave her arc for the next film, but you've ruined it because you made no money. So I like the guy who plays the evil Terminator.
Yes, I think he's the best casting.
He's good.
I liked his.
The Terminator thing is a bit weird. How they can have like sort of 2 bits, but that bit where he's in the detention cell, at the border, and they're all jumping on him, and
he's like a mixture, and he's like a hybrid of it. Yeah. No, I liked him.
Couple of sort of. So this is the problem with it. My main problem with this is the so like Terminator 2 obviously has loads of CGI in it, yeah, and for the most part, it all holds up pretty well.
Even now,
because it's balanced with like practical stunts, effects, and sort of. There's a few bits with like the hybrid Terminator, like you can tell he's just a complete CG person. The way it moves and jumps around, it just looks like every generic action crap out there.
Yeah.
And then where it gets fucking outrageous is when they get into the plane and they're like floating around in the cabin. Yeah. It crashes. They go off a dam into water, underwater, and you're just thinking, my Christ, like Sarah Connor at this point is nearly 70. I know it's a film. I know it's a film. Oh my God. I know.
Yeah, I know.
And I just think, and the problem is that's where I lose interest. The final third, the showdown in the factory is not too bad, but the final, for John and all that crap, I can get on board with that crap. But the whole plane into the dam sequence for me is just like, just a big giant CG.
I know. I get what you're saying. That we have films for a reason. It's to get away from the real world. But you look at suspend disbelief to some degree, but you have to ground it to some sort of reality. Whether it's a sci-fi film, whether it's an action film like this set in current times, or even comic book stuff where obviously there's a lot of you have to keep it grounded to some degree. And I think when you do things like that, it is a little bit like you just said. She's nearly 70 years of age, and she's flown about like she's in her 30s. But
the problem is, it doesn't even look good. It's not even like not even entertaining. I'm just watching it thinking, it's like when you watch Transformers, for me, or if you like these films, I'm shitting all over them. Or like we've had so many of these films. I know Man of Steel is well old, but like when you're watching Man of Steel and you like watching like a 10-minute scene of Zod and Superman beating each other up through skyscrapers, and in the end you're just like, I don't care. None of it's. I can't relate to any of it. There's nothing's real here. Whereas, like, you watch Terminator 2, there's there's a highway chase with a real helicopter. Flying. It's real. That's why it looks good. That was in '91. It looks as good as any action film now. No, I know better. Also, so I just lose interest.
I think also it has an ending because the humans can't keep going on. So when they do crash, they crash. Whereas, when you've got things like superhumans fighting a superhuman where it's fire and ice, they're just going to cancel each other out. So you can't. How many times can someone get hit by a bus or being thrown through a building before they're like, well, it's not going to do nothing to me, so stop doing it then.
Yeah.
So I get you coming with that. So yeah.
And I know it's like meant to look all exciting and stuff, but after a while, and it's fine for a little while.
You can draw an action scene out too long sometimes.
Yeah.
So Fast and Furious is one of them. I'm just going to say sorry. They drag their action scenes out too long.
I don't even know if I've seen all of them.
Probably not.
Arnie's pretty good in it.
Yeah.
Dark Fate. Again, when he's talking about blinds and stuff, like at this point now, any new Terminator film that comes out, I'm never going to sit there thinking we're going to get this awesome new Terminator film.
I think
so I don't care.
I think they need to
just let go.
I don't think it's even Arnie wants to come back to a degree. I think he comes back because he enjoys doing it, and I think if they were to say, you're not going to be the Terminator anymore, he'd be like, okay, yeah. Well, I've had my time, I've done all that, and then they're going to, what you got?
Well, look, I'm just going to say this, mate. I haven't watched these for a long time.
Oh, honourable mentions.
I might watch these. So, again, the Sarah Connor Chronicles. Now,
they were good.
They don't have Arnie in them.
No, that's Sam McLeod as like the Terminator.
And actually, when I said I haven't got John Connor right, they did there. That's good.
Yeah, he went too bad. So I thought she played a decent.
All decent.
Sarah Connor.
Yeah. So you can do Terminator stuff without Arnie. He was okay in it. Again, I don't know. When I look at Terminator 1 and 2, I mean, Terminator 2's got a little bit of comedy in it, but it's it works. It's like natural comedy. All the comedy in these rest of the films is all false.
Yeah.
So Dark Fate for me, I think it looks kind of cool. It's got a bit of pacing issues, but by the final act, I've sort of lost a little bit of interest with it.
Right, so like I say, 1 and 2 spot probably not going to be a major shock. It was always, I think, going to be these two.
So we'll just talk about them both at the same time. So
do you not have then?
I do. I do.
Are you looking at there, are you?
Oh no, because basically I can't remember what I did.
Oh.
Where is it? I should have been more prepared. Yeah. Oh yeah, there. Is that it? Oh, here's my Dark Fate. I've got it here somewhere. I'm just chatting away like an old prat.
Try the top. That's what actually is.
Oh yes.
See?
The top. Oh no, that's it, yeah. So, I recently watched Terminator on 4K, right? So, because I got Terminator 2 on 4K ages ago in this like really big box set with a vinyl, like with the soundtrack on vinyl and stuff. So like the only one I haven't got on, so I've got Terminator 1, 2 and Dark Fate now on 4K, and then the others are on Blu-ray apart from T3. Which is like loads of money to try and get on Blu-ray.
Because it's probably the one they didn't do the most of. I've got it on Blu-ray.
Have you? I haven't.
Anyway, I bought that when it was like $8.99 though, so probably cheap.
Yeah. So, Terminator 1 next for me, then Terminator 2 is my favourite.
I'm the way around.
Yeah, I knew he was going to be a dickhead about it.
Well, I explained to you, wouldn't I? So go on, Terminator 2.
I don't really care.
It's a great movie.
So Terminator 2, I think.
No, sorry, no, you're putting Terminator, aren't you? Sorry.
Yeah, but I'm going to just talk about them both together because basically, when I watched Terminator, I was so excited to watch Terminator because I haven't watched it for ages, and I pre-ordered it on and got it on that 4K set, and I literally
Nice.
and I've got a massive pile of films down here. That is my watch list. Yeah, that's I'm never going to get through in my lifetime. But Terminator, it arrived through the post, and I watched it that night. Right?
Yeah.
So, and I'll be honest with you. When I watched Terminator 1 like last month or in November, whenever it was, that was probably the closest I've gone. Oh, this could be better than 2. Is it better than 2?
Really?
Is it as good as 2?
Okay.
Like it's
So
like
what,
that.
what
I don't know. I just really enjoyed it. I don't know. I've seen it loads of
No,
times.
but I'm saying, what just missed out then? What was it?
Probably the spectacle of it all, maybe.
Okay.
I mean, like Terminator 1 is more horror for me. I think it's like a horror film. It's quite gritty. It's quite grungy. It's quite almost like guerrilla filmed, isn't it? It's
almost like dirty 80s.
Yeah, it's not as dirty as like RoboCop, but definitely sort of like nothing's dirty like RoboCop. But yeah, it's just.
I know what you mean though. Yeah.
Like it just feels like they quickly shot it all really quick because they were like they weren't getting permission to shoot here. Yeah. I mean that probably was the case, to be fair. I don't know, but it's just grungy. Everyone.
It's a very cult film.
Casting's brilliant.
It's a cult film.
And you can. So I mean, apart from obviously budget spectacle, for me they're both as good as each other. I think two is probably, if I had to pick, 2 is my favourite action film of all time.
Yeah.
And it could be one of my favourite films of all time. Do you know what I mean?
That's a bold statement, but okay.
I really like T2. And there's like a couple of different cuts of it, and I think they're all good. They've all got merits to exist, and I don't. Casting's good in both.
I think they're two. They almost do feel like they are 2 very different films. Like I say, the first one's very dark and gritty, and the second one's a bit more light and bright.
It's more.
I mean, obviously,
Hollywood,
a lot more shit
isn't
happens during the day, which is fine. Like I say, and obviously they got.
Cameron's like obviously on his A game massively.
Well,
he was with both of them, but
they've come to him and they've given him at the time, which was probably the biggest budget you could get for a film, and he's just gone.
I don't know how much it was. Probably
Okay.
like 200 million or something stupid.
So, but back then, it was a lot of money, and obviously the CGI element for ILM come along, and they obviously helped out a massive amount. So, again, it's things that you can't necessarily do in the first film. What you wanted to do, you can now do it in the second film. And I think that's what it was. But I think
there's a charm about number 1 though. Like, I even like the bits, and they could go back and redo it, but I wouldn't want them to do it. So like the stop animation of the T800.
Yeah.
When he's walking, and obviously you can tell he's.
But I think that adds charm to it.
I like it. I kind of like watching. Like, there's a reason why the 80s is a staple of action, isn't it?
I think 80s in general, isn't it?
And early
films,
early
action,
to mid 90s as well was really good.
Music.
The soundtrack for Terminator 1 and 2 is really good as well.
I like the soundtrack to Terminator 1. It feels like it's.
Do you know what? I'll tell you what I think.
Especially the Sam Winston stuff is brilliant.
Yeah.
You know,
I think I'll tell you what number 1 does better than T2 is exposition dumping. Like telling you stuff for you to know. So basically, for the whole film, like when shit goes down and Cole catches up with Sarah in the nightclub, and then it's just basically a chase film until they get to the motel. It's just exposition dump. exposition dump, but in a good way. It's frantic, it's fast. They're doing it whilst driving in the car.
Well, he's got to, because he's got to try and
Whereas
this,
you
because
get,
she has no idea what's going on.
Yeah, but then in like other film, like in like any other film, and lots of films, like
well, even in the other later.
Yeah, you sit there and you're just like, I don't care.
I see what you mean. Yeah. So going back to T3, when they're driving in the camper van.
Yeah.
And they're making bombs, and he's explaining to her the whole premise of it. I know what you're saying. It seems like a very calm environment.
Yeah, and it does help that I'm not interested in the two characters.
Yeah, like they've got time to explain this. Like you're saying, in the first film, everything's frantic. He's chasing us. I've got to try and tell you this stuff, because if I don't, you're gonna die.
Like even whilst he's hot wiring the car, he's doing it. It's just everything feels there's a pressure.
It feels organic.
There's an urgency. There's when you're watching it, you're on the. You're there with them. It's fucking hell. And then it's just like obviously quality stuff, like obviously like the Arnie's quality in it. Like I still can't watch the eyeball being taken out. It makes me feel fucking ill. Can't stand the eye thing.
The police.
Oh, there's the station shootout's quality.
Is awesome.
That's the only thing. That's one thing I loved about number 3. You know the doc. What's his name? The doctor.
Oh, the psychiatrist. Who's in
so obviously number 1, he's obviously.
It's like 2 minutes.
Yeah, and then in number 2, he's like a massive arsehole, isn't he? And then he's like when he sees Robert Patrick walk through the metal bars, and then he sees Arnie as well, doesn't he? And he's just like.
And then he sees Arnie again.
And then when he sees Arnie number 3, you just see him bolting across the cemetery.
Because you never realise it's like, oh shit.
He's like, okay, that's quality. That was the best thing about Terminator 3. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I can sit and talk about Terminator 1 and 2 all day long. I'm not going to do that. But
I think. Again, a friend of mine spoke to me a little while at work and said they're both very good films, but like I say, 2's probably the better action film, but 1's probably the better movie, if you like.
Yeah.
And I think Cameron done that quite well with Aliens. I know he didn't direct the first one, but he does. If you look at Alien,
I've got a hot take.
Right, but if you look at Alien and Alien's probably the better movie. Again, it's like a sci-fi horror.
Oh,
very much
sorry,
like. I just twitched.
No, I was just going to pass out of absolute fucking crap you're coming out with. Aliens is better than that.
No,
I'll give you my hot take now.
No, Alien is a better movie.
Oh yeah.
And Aliens is the better action movie because
as much as sorry.
Yeah, because again, Alien is like a sci-fi horror.
Yeah.
Like Terminator.
Yeah.
And then Terminator 2 and Aliens, sorry, plural, is the action movie. They both work well, but that's what I was trying to say.
Terminator 2.
Have a moment.
Yeah. Terminator 2 is like really cool as well because like you got Arnie plays the father figure.
Robert Patrick's also great.
Robert Patrick's awesome. It's
casting is just great.
Yeah, it's all good. The practical effects are all good. There's nothing that Terminator 2 as well. You can get like the uncut version. It's on for like I think it's just shy of 3 hours or something.
It's 2:40, which for that time is quite long.
And for me, it doesn't have any pacing issues. I'm just watching it like the whole time.
Yeah, because I remember being a lot younger, thinking it took ages for them to get to Cyberdyne.
And then
It's there, and it's like, oh.
No, you get to Cyberdyne, and then you think, and then you realise
that's near the end.
Then you still got then you still got the highway chase into the steel mill, or whatever it is.
Or the ironworks. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you don't forget, because you always think, the first one's like, you got the motorcycle chase and the lorry, and then you got other little bits in between, or you got the mall bit, if you like, as well, a little bit. But yeah, then you've got all the Cyberdyne system bits, then you got the highway chase, and then you got the steel mill. It's like there's so much to go. And then in between,
how mad as well is like so in T2 as well. Pardon me, Arnie don't kill anyone.
No,
and it's like savage action. It's one of the best action films, and hardly anyone dies in it.
No, he shoots a guy twice in the leg, and he's like, he'll live.
Yeah,
it's like, well, that's only if you didn't clip an artery. But
Sarah Connor's really good. Like Linda Hamilton's like
plays that psycho character so well.
I mean, all the stuff in the hospital. Psychiatrist, like the mental hospital place. I'm going to say mental. That's all. That's
psychiatric.
Yeah, that's that's all good. There's no fat. There's no fat on that film, and there's no fat on number 1 either. I don't think either. So, yeah. So I think 2's the best. You think 1's the best, but can't really argue either way, can you?
No, I think to be honest, like I said, they're both very good. They both have their pros. Very small cons. I think in the first 2, whereas 3 onwards. Again, soon as you start mentioning, and it's like with any film, soon as you start bringing in time travel, it can be used to fix a loophole, but at the same time as you're just creating another loophole. And
Like
problems
X-Men,
later on.
the X-Men franchise all over in it.
Yeah, it's a little bit messy. I mean, Back to the Future is probably the only real cleanish to a degree, but again, that can be a bit messy as well if you think about it. You know, anything to the Marvel universe.
If you
the
break
Avengers
down,
thing, but again, that then they've just written a whole new thing going. Oh, it's the multiverse.
if
Well, that's
if,
just easy, isn't it?
if you break down the Terminator, it don't make sense. Like it just don't make sense.
No, of course it doesn't.
But
You can't send back
I'm not too
someone whose
worried.
birth due hasn't birthed yet because you didn't. Yeah, so it's right. Yeah, of course it is. It's a whole.
or you know, I remember being a kid thinking, like for the first one,
Why am I watching this movie? First of
or
all,
why send like you sent the Terminator back to kill Sarah? Yeah, you failed. I don't think they've ever explained it. So then in number 2, they send
one back to kill.
one
John.
back to kill John. Send it back to the same time again, number 1.
So you got 2 Terminators.
Yeah, or send it back the day before, thinking right. I know I know where she is now. She's going to be asleep with her iguana.
Is
it an iguana she's got?
Iguana.
Yeah, I know where she is now. She's actually on the shitter. Do you know what I mean? Instead of having that, but then it'd be really boring and it'd be over in 2 seconds, wouldn't it? So a bit like, you know, the bit where he goes to Sarah Connor and she's like, yeah, he's like, bang, bang, and you're like, shit, all right.
Yeah.
So, you know, anyway, so that's the Terminator franchise.
Yeah. I think again, overall, it's not a bad franchise. It's watchable.
For me, I could quite easily just watch Terminator 1 and 2, and then I can pop on one of the other ones here or there, just as a sank in the background. I don't need to. But for me, like, I don't need another Terminator. I think 1 and 2 do it just nice.
No, again, like I said, you know, if you want something a bit on a different side of things, give the Sarah Connor Chronicles a go. If you didn't watch that, a little hot take there, or a little.
That ain't a hot take. That's
Not
a hot take. My hot take. Do you want to hear my hot take?
So just quickly, did you watch the animated one on
Yeah.
Netflix?
Yeah.
The Zero.
Yeah.
It
was okay.
Yeah.
It was alright.
Yeah.
I've watched another season if they're doing it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't buy it though.
There's got
Right.
again, it's got bits from the first and second films all pulled out of it a little
Yeah.
bit, really. But I thought it was pretty good. Come on, what is your hot take then?
I just think Aliens is really overrated.
You think Aliens is overrated?
I do. Don't even have it in my top. Alien is my favourite Alien film, so I've ruined that franchise if we ever go to do it. I watched Romulus the other day. I enjoyed it. It was okay. It was again.
Well,
it had some pace.
maybe that's something we can look into.
Yeah.
Aliens.
But Aliens, yeah.
You think it's overrated?
I mean, I was late to the Alien franchise. My mate Sadler loves it. It was like, you know, he gets all fucking weak in the knees when he, oh, I love you, all that crap. And I started watching it when I was like, got into it when I was in my like early teens, and I was just like, I didn't even really like the first one actually that much. I was just like,
I think as you get
and
older,
then
I'm sure you understand.
Alien is also, I love Alien. It's brilliant. But because I've not got that sort of nostalgia for it, like I know people get the ump of Alien 3 because they killed off all the cool characters from number 2 off screen, which I was moaning about in Terminator 3, but because I don't care that much, then it doesn't offend me. Alien 3, I mean, Alien 3 is a bit boring, but the Alien films, I don't hate any of them. Some people hate 3, didn't they? They hate Resurrection. I don't hate any of them, but Aliens, it's all right. It's long. It's all right. I don't think it's that good. Really, but like, people say it's a great action film. Like, is it? Like, not in my opinion. Terminator 2 is a much better action film than Aliens 2. That's a hot take. Tell me yours in the comments. Tell me I'm wrong. Whatever. I don't. Yeah, that's why it's a hot take. I know.
It's not wrong. It's your opinion.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, I want to air this room out.
Yeah.
And that is a bloody tough cork. So better wines come out better.